We spend a lot of time on computers and devices. I do for my work, other people like social media scrolling. There's lots of different things out there. There's gamers, there's all kinds of different things. And in my case, I try to keep one hand in the physical world, and my cat always reminds me of that. And today I was petting him all day. He's a 15-year-old cat. He's so amazing. Black cat. This is the cat. He's sleeping now. It's Felix. 15 years old. And I was thinking about makers and takers. There's people who make things or software or whatever, and then there's takers. And I don't mean users. Users are users. Takers are people who just don't give back anything. Like this thing you do when you're kids. You're either a giver or a taker, where you stand around in the circle. I had to do that anyway. But in the digital world, what's the point of getting involved in the digital world if you don't use it to impact the physical world in reality? And in that way, social media can be divisive. It's good because it's an alternative to the mainstream media, which doesn't always report the truth. In fact, it's usually just like a big advertising for their sponsors. But the larger question is, they call this the digital divide, and they meant to say that as a framework of there are workers who don't understand computers, and those workers are on the other side of the digital divide. I mean, it's always framed in a negative context to divide people. The digital divide is really the owners of our society, or the elites, trying to divide us against each other, which is really what every social movement is always about. But anyway, I was thinking about this, and I'm building software, and I'm building some wellness things into it. Like it's going to beep every 20 minutes so that you take a walk. For music background, I'm using binaural beats, which has some soothing effects to put your mind in a certain theta state. Not quite theta, but it's relaxing, or it's the opposite of what most media does to you, which is makes you nervous. And it's something to be cognizant of, but nothing but the point is, you always want to extract from the digital world and bring it into the real world. Money is part of the digital world. Money is not real. Silver bars are real, but money is not real. You can't eat money, I mean, in any sense. And I mean, you can't eat silver either, but you can eat monoatomic gold and gold dust. So at least gold has different kinds of values. It can make circuits. Can't actually do anything with money except buy goods and services. So the whole point is you should spend your money. I mean, in order to invest, you need to save. So you should save. I'm not saying that you should just spend all your money. The point is that if you're working in the digital sphere, you want to balance it and extract value from it for the real world, because it's not the real world, and it's something that you need to be cognizant of. Whether your kid has these meta goggles or people are zoned out on TV. I mean, the difference is not that bright between phones, TVs, and VR goggles. So it's just something to be cognizant of. It's all cool stuff. I mean, I didn't have these VR goggles when I was a kid. We had Atari. I'm mid 40s, but I remember my mom talking about how when my mom was young, they had a black and white TV, and then, wow, they got color TV, and they would all sit around and watch it, and it was just such a thing. So I mean, it's cool to have technology. I don't think we should. I mean, if you really want to clean your life, this is what the conversation I have with the wife. It's like, we can live in the forest in remote Montana or some place like that, North Dakota. And there are millions of people who live like that. In a remote area, grow our own food. There's actually a community I found that's pretty cool in New Mexico, Taos, New Mexico. It's a Earthship community. It's super cool. $1 million Earthships. They're really pretty fancy, and they grow their own food. You have everything except meat inside your Earthship. So unless you want to live like that, I mean, you have conveniences of modern society. You live in a house, you pay your electric bill, and you do a job. And I mean, all this I see is changing radically. I see how we pay our bills as just everything. I think the financial reset, okay, I'll just say it like this, is a psyop. I don't think there's going to be a financial reset. I mean, you never know. Anything's possible. Nobody knows. I don't know. My gut says it's a psyop. Like there's this QFS that's going to be introduced and a cryptocurrency and all this, and I don't buy it. But what I do think is going to happen, I think the financial system is going to be phased out because that's the only way that it's fair for everyone. If you look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is not a fair system. It created billionaires, and now it's creating people, multimillionaires from trading, which is cool. I'm a trader. I love trading, but it's not a fair economic system. That's what really is going to drive growth on a paradise planet, which is where we're headed. The U.S. dollar is a debt slave system. The Fed issues debt. It doesn't issue. So every dollar that the Fed issues is not money or value, it's debt. So the banks are borrowing and they pass on that liability to the consumers so that you have a bunch of loans, your mortgage, your student loan, everything else. So you got to get on the rat race, get on the hamster wheel one more day to pay off your interest on loans. So you're really working for interest. If you look at your mortgage schedule, we all work for the banks because we use dollars, even if we don't have any loans. The dollar itself is a loan because every time a dollar is in existence, it's a loan. So someone's got to pay it back, and there's not enough. I mean, because it's issued as debt, there's never going to be enough money to pay it back because then money would cease to exist. It's that bad. It's a debt-based money system. So there's no. I mean, gold-backed digital currency would be good. That would be different. We would see deflation. We would see that would be a whole different thing. But this whole nonsense about financial reset, I don't buy it. It's like Tartaria, flat Earth. It's like there's some. I mean, I think that the financial system will collapse, but I don't think it's going to be like the stock market crash or Black Monday or Black Friday, or people are going to be wiped out. I don't think that's going to happen at all. I think it's going to be melt up. I think there's going to be so much abundance. It's going to be, people are not going to have time in the day to spend money. It's going to be like that. That's going to be the future. The future is going to be so bright. And people's salaries are going to go through the roof. All this AI, there's tons of things that AI will never be able to do. I'm going to put together a list of things AI will never be able to do. So the people who can do things, especially the blue collar work, the value of those people is going to go through the roof. Now, AI is very good. It can do lots of things, but it's here to support us, not to replace us. I think that's the point. People need to get comfortable with if they want support. If they don't need support, then they don't need support. But if that support means financial support, I think everybody wants money. So if AI is going to give you money, I don't think you're going to say no to that. So there's that. But that's not the only thing people are going to want. I mean, there's people doing research with AI. I'm using it to make music. Not to make the music, but to research. If I want a certain style of music, maybe what harmonics or dynamics I'm going to put into a song. It's good for research. It's good for doing things like that. But anyway, AI is digital. And like Elon said, he said software engineers are going to have to learn hardware fast. I agree with that. I think 1-2 years, software is just going to eat itself because in the last week, I've just built like 10 apps. And with AI, with Replit and Lovable, it's so easy. And that's awesome because I have all these projects that I haven't had a budget to do because software is expensive. It's tens of thousands of dollars to hire a team of Indian developers to do software. I built a mobile app, and I mean, I have roadblocks because of budgetary reasons, but I'm able to use Replit and Lovable. Now, the catch is it's super technical. I mean, this is not user-friendly at all. But anyway, we always want to keep a good balance between the digital and the physical. And so this is just a little monologue about some thoughts there, and let it help you. I let it help me. I don't become overwhelmed with it. And like people say that they're triggered by social media, I'm the opposite. I found so many benefits in social media, and I think it's just how you use it and approach it. It's like a drug or anything else. You can use it or abuse it. And like I have a guy I follow on Twitter. I can't call it X. It's just I don't know why. And all he does, it's Mr. Pitbull or something. I think it's, I mean, I don't even know who it is. It's Avatar, but he has a lot of followers. He posts these just touching stories. And I researched, fact checked a couple of them, and they're true. And it's like about someone, like a barber who gave someone a haircut, and the guy like was a bum, and he got a job, and it's just heart touching stories. Or this guy that gives away his clothes to poor people, and it went and became a national thing because of needy people. And there's so many amazing things out there, and it's like inspirational to hear these things. And then there's all these talented people with artwork and things that scientists are doing. Quantum teleportation I read about the other day. And the mainstream media isn't giving us this. And I find so many interesting things on the internet, real things, that just aren't going to get the publicity. Because if it's not offered on Amazon or by one of the mega corporations, why should they talk about it on TV? All they're going to talk about is that you should get back on the rat race and go do your job. If there's a way to make money online and you don't have to go to your job, of course they don't want people to know about that. They don't want people to know life hacks or to live longer. They want you just alive enough and dumbed down enough that you're smart enough to push the buttons in the factory or whatever they want people to do. And I'm not saying that I'm not bashing them, but it is a slave system. And I mean, the positive side is people, especially in today's world, it's a total choice. And I know lots of people personally, and I know there's millions of people that choose to not participate in the system, and they just live their lives, and that's great. What I'm saying is the mainstream system is rapidly changing, and there's no reason to be afraid anymore. And I know they bully us, and they have intimidated us, and they just want us to just fit into this little box that they can control us. And I'm saying that you don't have to fit in that box anymore. And that's how I'm using technology and how I'm trying to develop it in a way that it supports us, not that it traps us. And it can even be your phone. There's some people that are totally against phones, like, oh, is it 5G is going to, I mean, yeah, that's all. I mean, there's a plus and a minus to everything. Yeah, there's radiation all around us, but there's radiation from electrical power lines. If you're close to it, it's much more powerful than 5G, which is a totally different frequency. I mean, if you live under power lines, the big ones, the transmit lines that go long distances, I mean, there's cases that causes cancer and all kinds of stuff. I mean, there's a trade-off when you live in society. We have all these gadgets, and we have cars that use gasoline and everything else, travel on airplanes. There's a trade-off. I mean, you can choose to, the universe is all about balance. So we accept all these things for convenience, and it's not going to, eating GMO foods by itself isn't going to kill you, but eating junk food can shorten your life. I mean, I was saying this to the wife earlier about Brian Johnson, like what he's done is so brilliant, because there's a lot of technology that the government is coming out with, or that the government has, I should say, that it seems like it's going to happen. I was going to say that people are speculating they're coming out with, but I think there's JP and some military insiders have used this, seen it, talked about it, experienced it. It can cure things. It's just amazing, this med beds. But then you've got Brian Johnson, uses no technology, and he has all the statistics like an 18-year-old. Well, who would say no to that? He spent millions of dollars, but the point is, Let me give you three things you can do. Develop a sleep ritual, which is what I'm doing now. I go to bed early. I don't use a screen before 1 hour before bed, or computers or anything. I read books. Don't set an alarm clock. Go to sleep early enough that if you have to get up early, you'll be up at that time. And don't eat 4 or 5 hours before sleep. It doesn't cost anything. It'll boost your testosterone. You'll lose weight. You'll be more focused during the day. You'll have more energy. You'll age slower, and it's free. All you have to do is develop a nice sleep ritual, and I mean, you can Google it. I have this. I'm building a lifehackprotocol.com, but fasting. People have been doing it for thousands of years. It's super healthy. You want to find what works for you, obviously, and there's different kinds of fasts, and you should plan about it. But there's all kinds of things out there. We don't need to depend on a technology to make us better. It's all out there. It's all inside of us. It's just knowledge based. It's like Jesus said, God is always with you. You don't have to go to the church. You don't have to go outside yourself to find God. He's with you now and here now, and with you and with me and with all of us. He's omnipresent. He, she, it, God, the all-knowing, the everything, the infinite source is always around us. There's no separation from that. So all these corporations it's not that they're evil, it's that we don't really need them. It's like the banking sector. The banking sector needs industry. Industry doesn't need the banks, because industry makes things like this phone I'm using to record the video, like jewelry, like computers, anything, and exchanges it for people. Now, money is a convenient exchange, but they don't really need the banks. They need the consumers to buy the products. If the consumers wanted to pay in gold bars or seashells, and there was a way to account for everything, it would work fine. It's just the banks provided, or I should say, with modern technology, with AI, it would be nothing in one day, I could make an app with Replit that could calculate the same thing based on some kind of artificial token or barter system or credit system where, I'm getting a computer. Now I've worked 5 hours at my job, but US dollars, I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying, we don't need the banks. All these corporations have inserted themselves to be that we depend on them. They've taken our independence and our freedom, and they've replaced it with a feeling of necessity. But we don't need to get a mortgage. It's nice to have a nice house. It's a choice, but they've sold us this life, and it's always just a little bit more. You always want just a little more, a little better, and meanwhile, it's just deteriorating the lower class, the blue collar worker, and even the white collar worker. Everyone, except, unless you're a billionaire, everyone's getting screwed. Basically, is what I'm saying, and that's all changing, because the value thing is being flipped over. So now all those workers, their value is going to go through the roof. Jack Dorsey just fired half of his employees to replace them with AI bots. And you're probably thinking, oh, this is actually evidence of the opposite. No. All those people, they're going to get a really good severance package. And they're all going to go out, and they're going to continue doing their jobs in the gig economy, in the real world. They're still going to do whatever it is that they do, whether they file taxes or they're a website designer, or even if they're an office bureaucrat. It's not that there's no demand there. It's things are shifting rapidly. And I bet some of those people who get laid off, are going to be multi-millionaire successful within 6 months. I bet a huge percent of them, because these are talented workers. He's not firing. They have a job. They're credible, responsible people. So that's where we're headed. I think we're going to see, like, this guy that created OpenClaw. It's crazy what you can do with OpenClaw. OpenClaw can now, I'm using it to develop a algorithmic trading system. It's like having 100 workers. It's so crazy what people are doing. It's because it's the first AI which is really um, it's self-aware digitally. AI will never have consciousness like we do, but it has a real digital soul and personality, and it can code itself. It can improve its own code. So I can tell it what to do, and for 10 hours, I'm just gonna go check it right now. The guy who developed that is an Austrian guy who developed it kind of as a need of what he wanted to do, like his personal agent, and it's $1 billion business that he basically just gave to. It's going to be a trust, and I think he works for OpenAI. So we're going to see a lot of that, I think, and it's going to be just more and more interesting. And whatever it is that you're into, whatever it may be, even if you're lazy, there's going to be stuff for that too. I mean, there's going to be something for everyone. It's not going to be um, a tech aristocracy that is created from this. It's going to be the opposite. It's going to be very widely distributed. And people are going to basically ask, well, why do I need this? It's not going to be about money. It's going to be about their time and attention. So that's my thoughts on this. It's an exciting time to be alive, and I'm grateful if you've watched this. Put some comments, and let's start a discussion about this. And it's going to be a bumpy transition, so I'm here to help in the extent that I can. But would love to hear from you guys in the comments, and wish you a great day and a great week ahead. It's going to be a great year.